You tried to pump Austin and Houston full of your blue-haired detritus, soy-sipping, face-pierced, virtue-signaling freaks with no spine, no skills, and no sense of history. You failed cities don't get to lecture Texas. Not now, not ever. Every single Democrat-controlled state is a hellhole of its own making. Crumbling infrastructure, sky-high crime, broken families, stunted kids who can't read past the 4th grade, fentanyl corpses piling up like trash bags behind a Dollar Tree. You've hollowed out your cities and now you want to export your failure across state lines? Do you think we forgot about the fact that you just got done mocking our pain when our precious little girls drowned in Kerrville? You didn't show 1 ounce of reverence, not 1 tear. Instead, you used our grief to grandstand and virtue signal as if Texas deserves judgment for daring to be conservative, Christian, and independent. You people are the same people who march for criminals, weep over Hamas terrorists, and shout love is love while hating every breath a Texan takes. You mock our losses, then you want to move into our towns and push your failed policies. Vote for the very rot that you fled from. And then you dare to tell us how to run our homes, schools, and our faith? Ridiculous. You ran from your cities because you ran them in the ground. You let crime rot your streets, gender confusion infect your children, and fentanyl run wild. Don't bring that stuff to our great state. Texas will not be your lab rat. We don't need your rainbow flag, safe spaces, and NPR elitism. You didn't cry for our daughters. So don't expect us to stay silent while you mock our graves and corrupt our peace, bringing all those doggone demons to Texas. Pack up and take your fake empathy, your blue state arrogance, and your ballot fraud with you. This is God's country, and we don't kneel to imported wickedness. California, that's the only state that barely beats Texas GDP, and that's with Hollywood, big tech, Silicon Valley. Yet even with that, you're still hemorrhaging residents like a sinking ship with no bilge pump. People are fleeing your sanctuary sewer systems and begging for sanity in red states. But don't get it twisted. We didn't ask for you to come. We never asked for you to come. Texans, we like our freedom. We hop in our pickup trucks, our Chevys, our Fords, saddle up, tend to the cattle, raise our children, mind our own business, trust in the Lord God Almighty. We work with our hands. We raise our flags. We build what we eat. What we don't do is flood our communities with illegal criminals and then act shocked when crime skyrockets. You tried to pump Austin and Houston full of your blue-haired detritus, soy-sipping, face-pierced, virtue-signaling freaks with no spine, no skills, and no sense of history. And now you want to tell us how to run our congressional districts? Texas doesn't take orders from states that can't keep their own streets clean. We don't need lectures from cities where Target is a war zone and Walgreens has armed security for toothpaste. You broke your own house. Don't come here trying to redecorate ours. Texans will do what Texans do. Stand tall, speak truth, trust the Lord, protect liberty, and keep the freak show out. And if that bothers you, good. It means we're doing it right. So you and your loudmouth Jasmine Crockett's and the like, you stay in the utopias you destroyed. You can take your blue ballots and pack up your bags and bounce. Texas doesn't need your help. Sure as heaven, we don't even care about your opinion.
My brother was cooking. Man, these daggone Democrats, they are losing it. They're losing it all across the country because they can see their power eroding. They can see the American people are just not buying what they're selling. Now, here's something to think about. We recently witnessed one of the largest data breaches in history. Over 1.2 billion people were affected, including millions of Apple accounts. It's one of the largest breaches we've ever seen. That's exactly why I used today's video sponsor, Aura. If you've ever wondered how scammers get your phone number or why your inbox is suddenly full of spam emails, this is usually the reason. There are companies called data brokers that collect and sell your personal information without you even knowing it. Cleaning that up yourself is virtually impossible. That's where Aura comes in. Now, I've been using Aura for a bit, and before Aura, man, I was getting bombarded with spam calls constantly, several a day, spam emails all the time. It was ridiculous. But since I started using it, that number has dropped significantly. Aura automatically removes your personal data from data broker websites and keeps it off. No confusing legal forms, no digging through obscure websites. They handle it all for you. But it doesn't stop there. Aura is like having an entire digital security team in your pocket. You get real-time alerts if your info or information appears on the dark web, fraud notifications from your bank and credit accounts, a built-in VPN, antivirus, password manager, and up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based customer support. These data companies are making billions off of our information. It's time that we take back control. Check out Aura by using my link in the description box, aura.com/wise for a free 14-day trial. I'll also have it pinned in the comment section below. Protect yourself, man. Do it. It's worth it. Now let's get back into the video.
You know that Republicans in the state, Republicans out of the state, look at what you guys are doing and thinking you're running away from the fight. You're running away from your jobs by not being in Austin today.
Yeah, no. Abandoning your job is going to Cancun in the middle of a deadly freeze, right? Abandoning your job is cutting health care when people need access. Abandoning your job is cutting public education when we already have one of the worst education systems in the nation. What we are doing is the fundamental protection by our founding fathers in the Texas Constitution. When Donald Trump called Georgia Republicans and said, I just need you to find me 11,000 votes, they said, no, sir, that's a step too far. But when he called Texas Republicans and said, I need you to steal me 5 seats, they said, does July work for you? Well, it doesn't work for us as Texas Democrats.
I want to know, name an employer that will let you no call, no show, and you're still able to keep your job. They're supposed to be in Texas right now, but instead of being in Texas doing their jobs, they've decided to jump on a private jet at $15,000 an hour, I might add. I want to know who's paying for this. And they're in hotels in strategic blue cities around the nation, gaslighting people on the internet, making TikTok videos. These people are ridiculous, man. And the reality of it is this. We're all watching. We're all watching. I got to say it, man. Y'all don't look good. Y'all don't look good at all in the eyes of the American people. Because what y'all told everybody is that y'all don't actually care about the American people. Y'all don't care about your constituents down there in Texas. No, the only thing that you're concerned with is getting your way. That's it. Fundamental changes are happening in our country. And they're good things. Majority of the people in our nation agree with what's happening. These people can't take it.
I'm State Representative Gina Hinojosa, and yesterday Texas Republicans issued an arrest warrant for myself and my colleagues, and today still there was no quorum on the floor of the House. I am so proud of my colleagues. I'm so proud of Texans, and I'm so proud to be a part of this effort. I get asked all the time, what does tomorrow look like? What does the next day look like? Here's what I know. We fight to win today. Tomorrow is a new day. We assess and we take action. I'm reminded of a quote by former Governor Ann Richards. She said this, the here and now is all we have. And if we play it right, it's all we need. Thank you for your support.
This is just a game. This is what I'm talking about. TikTok videos. This is just a game because, and the crazy thing is, it's a game that they can't win. They're just wasting time. These are just stalling tactics. That's all it is. All they're doing is wasting time because the inevitable, it's going to happen. They know that they can't do anything about it. So this is all they have. These people, they're ridiculous, man. And I hope the people in Texas, I hope that they don't forget and make sure that they do everything to vote these people up out of office, man.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Gary Franchi, and I'm here for an interview with Al Green. I'm with the N3 Media. I'm a White House correspondent. Have an interview.
Interview with whom?
Representative Al Green, who's here.
Al Green?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Gary.
Gary, and you are here for...
For an interview with Representative Al Green, one of the Democrats who are here right now.
Okay. Your full name is?
Gary Franchi, Next News Network.
Gary. Hold on.
The Maserati.
Yes, please, you have his name?
Al Green.
No, you said you Gary Franchi.
Gary Franchi, yes.
Yeah. I don't see your name.
Do you see Representative Green? Or Jasmine Crockett? Representative Crockett?
No, I want to see your name.
Oh, Gary Franchi. Gary, G-A-R-Y-F-R.
Franchi, okay.
Yeah. Did you were you able to get a hold of the Representative Crockett or anyone?
Yeah, you please. Yeah, you can do that if you want.
Okay.
They're not going to let him come back there. He's not on the list. He's not, part of the media that they want to speak to.
I'm sorry, sir. You may not be able to. Allow.
Oh no, the interview. No interview.
Yeah, no interview. You may like to.
I could turn around, but
Turn around?
did you see that Jasmine Crockett though? I'm supposed to interview.
Yeah. Okay. No. We are sorry. We will not be able to allow you.
These are some despicable people, yo. The way they're going about doing this is just wow. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this before. At least in modern U.S. history, I personally don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. If something like this has happened before, let me know in the comment section, please. Show me some examples of other times where other states decided to do something like this. This is crazy.
And so I want people to see him and understand who he is. This is a person that has a problem with people of color, period. I don't care how many black MAGA out there with their hats. I want to be clear when we look at who it is that he's kicking out of this country as people of color. When we look at
kicking out illegal immigrants, regardless of color. Kicking out people that are not supposed to be here. I just find it really, really funny that all these people, they talk about due process and they're kicking people out, but there was no due process over the 4 years for these people to come in here. They just allowed these people to come in here. They gave them tons of free stuff. And we're supposed to sit back and say, yeah, this is a good thing. While they take jobs, they take resources from American citizens, but we're supposed to be okay with it. This lady's a joke, man.
who he always disrespects and says that they are low IQ, even though when you look at his cabinet, this has to be the most incompetent cabinet we have ever had in the history of this country. When we're talking about people that literally have the ability to drop bombs or order that bombs be dropped or make recommendations that bombs be dropped, and they literally don't know how to get the signal chat right. So we're talking about low IQ individuals, but so long as they say that this guy is their guy, and usually if they work for a certain news network, that's the only qualification that's necessary. I've got news for the president. I am not going anywhere. No matter how many squiggly lines they draw in the state of Texas, I will be back and I will be on his behind and making sure the real accountability that the American people are demanding, whether they're Democrats, Republicans, or independents, that it is had when the Democrats take control of this House in the midterms.
She's on the ropes, man, and she knows it. She is fighting for her life right now. She is fighting for her livelihood right now, worth $9 million on a $170,000 salary. Sheesh. The crazy thing is that what she's saying, it's not even true. I want you guys to see this because young people are pre-registering right now. You got young people, 17, 16, 17 years old that are pre-registering to vote. I want you guys to see this right here. Now, this is what's going on in Colorado. It's also happening in other states around the country, but look at this.
16 and 17-year-olds in Colorado are pre-registering as Republicans at a rate of 144% higher than Democrats in 2025. With Republican registration numbers more than doubling Democrat ones every single month in 2025 so far in one of the most heavily Democrat-controlled states in the country. Why do you think so many young voters are running away from the Democratic Party and joining the Republican Party?
Yeah, that's because these kids are going to school, especially the young men, and they're being told that you're toxic just because you are a young man. They're tired of being bombarded with all of this foolishness. Men can be women, women can be men, women's items in boys' bathrooms, boys going into girls' bathrooms. Like, it's crazy. This generation of kids that are coming up, they've experienced the full-on wokeness, especially if you've been in high school over the past 4 years. And they are rejecting it. They're rejecting it. And I'm glad to see it, man. I am glad to see it. But we're going to bring some comedy in it and we're going to get back to the seriousness. But y'all need to check out Terrence Williams, man. This guy here, he's wild.
Because the Supreme Court has paved the way for half the stuff that we see that's going on. Listen, Donald Trump is a piece of shit. Okay, we know that. Yes. He is. But in a functioning democracy, he still would not be able to get away with this. But he's been able to get away with this because the House Republicans are complicit. He's been able to get away with this because Senate Republicans are complicit. But most importantly, the courts, especially the Supreme Court, is complicit. And so I think one of the places that we have to start is we are absolutely, they are the highest court in the land, and they have no ethics guardrails. Now you go down to the lower courts and they do. How much sense does that make? When we know that they're taking money, we have the paper trail, and they refuse to put guardrails on themselves, so it's time for us to do it for them.
Child, and another thing, okay? That piece of shit, he the reason why my eyelashes going up, okay? I ain't
This guy, yo.
I ain't never had to pay. These was $1.99, okay? Before this president got in office, before him and these racist white folks took over, okay? I was paying $1.99 for these. I don't even want to put them on, okay? I gotta say these because now they done went up to $2. They done went up a penny under this president. A penny. It ain't the immigrants that they be talking about. It's the president. These went up because of Donald Trump. That piece of shit, not because of the immigrants, okay? So, I mean, like, child, baby, if these white folks ain't gonna do nothing, I'm gonna have to step up and do everything. The Supreme Court and the Republic, they are complicit. And these eyelashes going up. They complicit. Talk about because of the size, they large, so they gotta go up a penny, okay? So I'm just saying, child, I'm not finna sit back and let these white folks take over and remove me from office and all of that. It ain't happening. Okay? Thank you.
This guy's crazy, yo. I wouldn't do this. I hope he doesn't do this again. But this guy's, he's something else. He is something else. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
This is not a Texas problem. If Texas creates 5 more House of Representative seats, that's an America thing, right? That could be the distinction. That could be the difference between Republicans keeping hold of Congress in the midterm elections or not.
No, it absolutely could be. I mean, think about it this way. Right now, the Democrats should control the House, but we don't. And the only reason we don't control the House isn't because we didn't work hard, isn't because we didn't raise money, isn't because we didn't put up good candidates, but it is because North Carolina, as soon as they ended up with a Republican majority on that Supreme Court, decided to redraw the lines again. And instead of that state being 7-7, which sounds like how that state has historically been voting, instead now the congressional delegation is 10 Republicans and 4 Democrats. They took 3 seats away from us, and those 3 seats would have made the difference in having a Speaker Johnson and a Speaker Jeffries. And, well, one of those is bigger, better, and greater than the other, and I'm sure you know which one that is.
Yo, she really is bigging up Timu Barack Obama. Now, think about this for a second. Think about this. I don't know if you guys knew this, but there are states in our country right now that have 0 Republican representation there. 0. Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Vermont, New Hampshire, Hawaii, New Mexico, Connecticut, and Delaware. There are 8 states out of the 50 that do not have any Republican representation right now. These people are complaining. Are you kidding me? Have you guys seen the have you guys got a chance to look at the map in Illinois? They got all kinds of squiggly, crazy lines and things of that nature. Even right now down in Texas, you know, they got highways that they've created. I mean, it is wild what is going on. Now, they complain about the gerrymandering, but they've been the main culprits and the main beneficiaries of the gerrymandering. I mean, these people are truly the pot calling the kettle black, man. Seriously, the projection from these Democrats, it's on 1,000 right now with these folks, man. And the crazy thing is, thank the Lord for social media, And for independent platforms out there that can share this information, because if it was up to mainstream media, you wouldn't hear any of this stuff. You wouldn't hear any of it. If it was solely up to mainstream media, you would get one narrative and that's it.
The Messiah told Democrats to toughen up. And what did they do? They ran away.
If you're seeing this video, my Democratic colleagues and I have just left our beloved state to break quorum and stop Trump's redistricting power grab.
It is 2025. We are breaking quorum.
It's time to keep making good trouble. Thank you all for your prayers. We're going to continue to fight. We're going to continue to speak the truth of power, doing everything it takes to save and protect our democracy. We didn't start this fight. Donald Trump started it. So you see me? Look at here. Bye.
Democrats in Texas fled their state yesterday because they claim Trump's going to steal the midterms. They had a private jet pick them up in Austin. The charter is an E-170 with leather seating and runs about 15 grand an hour. Who paid for it? We don't know. But we do know where it went. Illinois. Governor J.B. Back Ribs Pritzker gave them a big old bear hug in Chicago.
He called them JB Racks.
And declared it a sanctuary city for fleabaggers. J.B. Back's giving them logistical support. Not sure what that means, but sources say free hotel rooms and meals. The Texas refugees say they had to run because Republicans wouldn't listen.
We really didn't have a choice. We tried to negotiate Republicans. We tried to talk to them. We tried to reason with them. We tried to tell them that the public is very angry at what they're doing, and they simply wouldn't listen.
This smells like a vacation. Texas is hot in August, high 90s all week. With humidity, it feels like 100. So they hop on a plane and check into a Hyatt in Chicago. We were in Chicago last August for the convention. It is beautiful. Nice breeze comes off the lake. They're not working. They're just sitting around doing CNN hits. One guy says he's the victim.
As a state representative, I get paid about $600 a month before taxes. And so that's not much to live off of. And so many of my colleagues, including myself, we have day jobs that help us pay the bills. And by breaking quorum, we are leaving those day jobs behind. We are sacrificing the income that we need to make ends meet.
Like Kanye said, how you going to be mad on vacation? Over 50 Democrats quit their jobs, left their friends, voters, family behind to go glamping at Fort J.B. Back. They're acting like they were drafted.
This is a war. We are at war. And that's why the gloves are off, and I say, bring it on.
Texas is redistricting, so Democrats might lose a few congressional seats. Doesn't sound like war to me. Shooting Trump and arresting him, that was a lot more warlike. Mm-hmm. And did Trump run away? No. If Texas is a war zone, why are Democrats abandoning their brothers and sisters? Texas isn't actually a war zone. Democrats just ran out of the state house and won't do their jobs, so now no one in the state house can do their job. Texas Governor Greg Abbott's been riding their bumpers, told them to get back to work or else.
The reports are these legislators have been both, they sought money and they offered money to skip the vote, to leave the legislature, to take a legislative act. That would be bribery. They face a possibility of facing bribery charges, which is a second-degree felony in the state of Texas. There's one way to cure that, and that is if they get back to the state of Texas and make quorum today at a hearing that we have at 3 o'clock.
Democrats had until 3 to show, and they didn't. So Governor Abbott's sending out a posse to arrest them for dereliction of duty and drag them back to the Capitol. They told us no one is above the law. And if they resist, the posse is going to hand them to Homan, and they'll wind up in El Salvador with the Maryland dad. Jazzy Crockett, who fled D.C. during the pandemic with a cohort of fleabaggers because Republicans were about to pass voter ID, may actually lose her seat to redistricting. And guess who she blames?
Because the Supreme Court has paved the way for half the stuff that we see that's going on. Listen, Donald Trump is a piece of shit. Okay, we know that. Yes, yes. He is. He is. He is.
A part of me feels what's good for the goose is good for the gander. But I'd also like to keep Crockett in Congress because she's such a delicious foil. And so what if Texas is redistricting? So what? Their state constitution gives them the legal right to. Democrats have been trying to redistrict Texas by letting millions of migrants break in. They've been trying to turn Texas blue illegally. Both parties gerrymander a little bit. But look at the state where Democrats fled to, the gerrymandering capital of the world, Illinois. They just play connect the dots with blue cities. That map looks like Jesse Jr. drew it. That one district, the squiggly one down there, the blue one, that looks like an earthworm on LSD. And look at one of the Texas districts that Democrats are running away from. They basically drew a highway between Houston and Austin. Even the media is calling them hypocrites.
Do you believe it's hypocritical for Democrats to deploy the same strategy that they're criticizing by Republicans in Texas?
Well, first of all, let's understand why Donald Trump is asking for 5 more Republican seats out of Texas. It's because his policies, especially his economic policies, have been so bad.
Dodge.
Exactly. Dodge the answer. Again, I go back and I say there's 8 states right now with 0 Republican representation right now. And these people are complaining. You got to think about this, man. The reason why it's like that is because Democrats gerrymandered to the maximum extent to retain power in those states that I mentioned: Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Vermont, New Hampshire, Hawaii, New Mexico, Connecticut, Delaware. Yeah, it is time to fight fire with fire. Makes complete sense. Makes complete sense. They just can't handle it. They can't handle it.
Speaking out against Jasmine Crockett makes the devil mad. And I know that might be a bit much for some of you, but there is a reason why we face so much opposition when we tell other Black women that they don't have to be like her, that they don't have to project consistent anger and jealousy and envy, that they don't have to constantly be angry at every single person for all of the things. Jasmine Crockett is perpetually full of evil intent and anger. That is why a lot of us are even confused as to how she got the way that she is. She is a girl who was taken care of by her parents from surface level. She went to some of the best schools that St. Louis had to offer. Her father is a preacher. The only reason or only way you could explain her behavior at this point is that there is something inside of her. There is something inside of her corrupting her at her core. And some people might call that a Jezebel spirit. Some people, may say she needs therapy. There's all types of ways to explain it. But the thing I want you to note is that when you speak out against something like that, something that is so deeply rooted and ingrained in a culture of women, to the point where their own men don't even want to marry them, to the point where people don't want to employ them, to the point where people don't want them to live in their neighborhoods. When you speak out against that spirit that's keeping them divided from society, there will be opposition. There will be opposition. There will be men who even look like they're supposed to be in support of those women speaking up to keep them divided. There will be women fighting to keep hold of that spirit inside of themselves. Keep speaking out. Keep speaking up. And keep doing your best to liberate more and more women from the bondage of that spirit that dwells inside of the Jasmine Crockett's, the Ayanna Presley's, and the Maxine Waters. It looks the same. It looks the same every time you see it because it is the same. And it's okay if you make it mad.
I love that. And with that being said, we're going to end the video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed that, man. I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on any of this? Jasmine Crockett, Texas Democrats, Democrats in general. I want to hear from you guys. Like, share, subscribe, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Hey, support the channel. Get you some merch. Check it. It's in the description box below. Join the ARP family. Buy your brother a coffee if you'd like to support the channel. Join us Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning. Come check us out. If it's your first time, let me know in the chat so we can properly welcome you. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support, man. God bless you all. Keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.